correctly. Was it banned last match? Okay. So it wasn't banned in the first match, but it was banned in last match. And it looks like that's what they're going to prioritize this time around. And you get Ornn once again. I mean,
oh, hell yeah.
From an Ornn-less series to an Ornn-full series this time around with the Gragas. Will it be support Gragas, jungle Gragas, or will we see that mid Gragas once again?
Yeah. Pierce also getting a quick note in from his messages. The Pyke ban was something specifically thrown towards Jackie's way, as since now he is actually in the support role. That is something that he piloted to great success apparently in last week. So a little bit of a shame that we're not going to see that, but you know what? This is the do or die match for Boba lovers, so they have to make sure that all the best champs are being taken away from them. The Ziggs, that's another staple in NA Wild Rift, and as well as Dienzio being one of the first Dragon laners to really pilot that one to success, as the Nunu for Ken, a return to something that worked super well in game 1.
Yep, that Nunu. To be fair, I mean, he didn't perform bad on the Wukong, but I feel like the Nunu pick for acquisition of the Dragons and the Rift Herald and the Baron Asher, it's just got more potential of being able to secure it just before the enemy team tries to rush your camp and tries to contest it. But the Lulu support we saw banned twice on the side of MohLIEVERS, so that's now come through for Nevermind. So that's gonna be really cool to see the Lulu, especially there's a lot of CC on the side of Boba lovers already. It's gonna be interesting to see what else they decide to go for. But currently the Gragas, Lulu, and Nunu is a massive pick. But then on the side of MohLIEVERS, they're going for the Blitzcrank. So not quite the Pyke hook that we are used to seeing on Jackie that got in the last two weeks the kills, the wins, sorry. But we've got the Blitzcrank hook as well. So we've not got the Nautilus, we've not got the Pyke, but we've got the third best, which is Blitzcrank. So yeah, and the Jinx ban, interestingly enough, towards the end for MohLIEVERS.
Trying to take out some very potent marksmen that could match up to the damage output that Ziggs would have in the late game. No Kayn either for Filet-O-Fish. No Zed. Just going to go for what seems like the next best assassin for the side of MohLIEVERS. And with the Blitzcrank, also shout out to Pierce, as this is one of Jackie's more play champions. Overall, Jackie does have quite the affinity with champions that have some type of hook ability, whether that's the Pyke Bone Skewer or the Dredge line from Nautilus and the Rock Grab. It just sets up great for single target picks in CC, and that allows you to get the snowballs rolling. The answer, though, if you are under threat by a lot of engage in CC and pick potential, Xayah's great, because that Feather Storm allows you to go invulnerable and dodge out on those crucial abilities.
And the last pick for Boba lovers is the Akali. So we're going to get the Xayah and the Lulu in the dual lane. It looks like Gragas potentially up in the Baron lane against the Ornn. And then possibly the Akali up in the mid lane against who yet? Possibly the Yone?
What's the final pickup here, guys? It's the Jace. Yo, Blam, we're getting a little bit of a poke comp again, just like the last match.
Poke fest. A little bit of a poke off. We always love a bit of poke. Not too sure how to go with that one. That is a sleep brain.
You know, the Facebook poke wars you would have back in the day?
That's it. Yeah. Oh my god, that is nostalgia. Jeez.
Really showing our age here.
Literally, yeah. I was like, wow. That literally sent me back into the past. But I'm pretty sure chat's like, what the hell's Facebook? And what the hell's Poke Wars?
You know, that would make me extremely depressed. But it would also just go to show, like, wow, we are that old. We are boomers.
We're internet boomers. But yeah, but yeah, I was gonna say to the point. Interestingly enough, we didn't get like the likes of Camille or Fiora banned, and neither of them picked. So really interesting to see that these two teams generally don't want to go for the top picks that we're used to seeing within these top teams, especially the ones that they normally strive for, like the Camille and the Fiora. They're just going for stuff that sort of more so fits in with their kit. So, interestingly enough, they're going for the Ornn against the Gragas. We see Kha'Zix coming out once again with First Strike. Pretty much 3 out of 5 of the MohLIEVERS have First Strike, so that's pretty intense for Boba lovers here. But I'm really interested to see how they do with this Lulu pickup with the Xayah as well. I mean, if Stu's still watching, I'm pretty sure he's bored and he's playing back to the old God country, UK. But he would be very happy with this Xayah pick, so.
Shout outs to him. As we take to the Rift for both teams here. Now with Jackie and Hitman in their premier roles for this squad. We're going to see how well these two can tango. Double lane or double range matchup here in the Dragon lane for Happy and Nevermind does put a what should be a stronger Should, but nice hook here already from Jackie. Huge chunk onto Nevermind. It was already starting to go the way of Boba lovers with the chunk on DNZO, but now that evens up things.
Yeah, definitely massive hook there. But I mean, he's used to play in the Nautilus. We didn't see him last match on the Nautilus, but seeing that hook pretty much mid lane, didn't have to hide in the bush to get that or land that. It was pretty good.
So far, I like what Filet-O-Fish is doing, pathing from top side to bot side. So once he completes these Raptors, he can either, greed out for another camp before playing for Crab, which it looks like that is going to be the play, while Ken is trying to full clear all of his jungle on this top side. Curious to see if Ken is going to try to loop back around to get to bot side as Nevermind gets hooked in again. Great exhaust. Ruining out the damage as well from DNZO. Forced to flash. No honeydew fruit. That's first blood for Nevermind. And he's able to hide out Jackie as well as he's forced under the tower. It's a double. Filet-O-Fish. Can he salvage this one? He has already been expended. Oh, it's disaster for Boba. Boba lovers. 3 kills on the board.
Jeez, oh my gosh, what an engage and what a lovely amount of CC. Very well played by Nevermind on the Xayah. This is clearly a great pick of his coming down into that bot lane, especially paired up with that Lulu. Very, very nice.
This is a huge start for Nevermind as well. The tier 2 boots being completed, not only having that extra bit of raw AD, but also the Omnivamp means that he has sustain to keep up and put pressure on this lane. And now Ken, not being punished by the fact that he full cleared topside and was here second to Filet-O-Fish because his Dragon lane did just fine in a 2v3 situation. And now he's here to protect them on this hover. But now DNZO and Jackie are under extreme amount of pressure.
Yeah, definitely. They got the Nudu here as well as the Lulu and the Xayah. We've already seen Xayah has the potential and the damage right now to take out these duo lane champions. And once again, another double kill for Nevermind. Obviously, they trade a double kill as well this time around, but it puts them at 6 kills to 2, which is going to be a great lead for Xayah. I mean, look at Xayah's gold right now. She's almost 1,900 gold difference here. It is crazy the amount of damage, the amount of gold she already has in lead of this Ziggs right now, and it's setting up for a great lead in the early game to mid game for Xayah. I think they just need to keep this pressure on this duo lane, because even though they've proven that they can push and overreach in that bot lane and do a lot of damage onto that turret and get the bonus gold as well, there was no intervention from the Kha'Zix either, so they timed that very well.
Yeah, and Nevermind is at the point where they're almost about to complete both a first item and tier 2 boots before DNZO has even looked at either of those completions as well. Cosmic is also taken out in a solo lane by Celestial, which prompted Filet-O-Fish to cover it. And it's a good flash, though, from Happy, and a nice look from Jackie to get the Summoner Spell out from Happy. But as you already called out here, Blam, the Dragon lane setup for Nevermind and Happy is in great foundation setup, and now the question comes to Boba or MohLIEVERS. How do you defuse this bomb that is pretty much already ticking in Nevermind?
Yeah, no, they've got to try and put a stop to that dual lane, I think, if possible. We got the jungle objectives first coming up now. Will we see a bit of a split push for either of these objectives? Will we see a clear priority for Dragon or a clear priority for Rift Herald on the side of MohLIEVERS? I feel like they may go for Rift Herald more so than the Dragon, just to apply some pressure in that mid lane, because I feel like if they're not going to win in the dual lane, they've got to win in another lane. But Nunu here with a massive ult. Oh my days, Celestial taking the kill onto Kha'Zix, but neither team have got jungle coming into both of these jungle objectives now up in 2 seconds. I don't think either of the teams are silly enough to try and go for these objectives just yet, because they don't have the smite and easily could be stolen from either team if they start it. I think they need to just try and get some more gold, farm up a little bit, maybe make some advances on this lane. But we do see the switcheroo happen from mid lane to dual lane. We have the Jace going down into the bot lane and already doing a bit of work onto that bot lane turret.
Yeah, this was a really nice read and just heads up play from JAMCo and Jackie. They were losing the lane on the bottom side of the map, but they got the first shove in and they were able to rotate mid, which allowed them to make the trade onto Ken and Celestial in the first place. Oh, never mind. Now being able to complete...
Getting caught out here.
Great pick setup. Another
nice
Storm. Able to cancel a lot of damage here. Now call the Forge God from Hitman. Not able to use it because he was rooted up, as you called out. Huge engage tools already being burned by MohLIEVERS, but they're gone now, and not much damage that was actually sustained on Boba, so they're free to be able to look for a second fight.
Yeah, when you got players playing at this level, you'd like to think all that was pretty much calculated with the Xayah, with the root there, denying Hitman of that second proc of his ultimate, because these are the things that change the pace of any team fight, because that could have been massive for MohLIEVERS here, but still could be massive. There is a one trade currently from across the team fight here. They lose the Akali, but they also lose the Ornn as well. We see Ken pretty low. Jace missing out that snipe damage onto Ken. Ken manages to actually get out of that team fight alive, but he is pretty low and is unable to get to that Rift Herald right now. But also, on the flip side, Filet-O-Fish is also pretty low and not looking confident enough to take the Rift Herald either. So they've gone back for a reset, and we see that Jace pushes that bot lane to go for a reset as well. So all in all, I think that's what MohLIEVERS needed after that wipeout in the dual lane that's taken place early game. Yeah.
This Rift Herald will go over the side of Boba lovers for sure. As you already called out, the resets were early first for them instead of MohLIEVERS. Late on the play after being able to take the dragon. So it's an objective trade. Is a nice pickup from Jackie. Huge on the Happy, and Celestial also getting caught in the crossfire as well. And if they stop this Rift Herald, they stop the Rift Herald from crashing, as you called it, Blam, and that's huge because that completely negates the objective trade that you were looking for as Boba lovers.
Yeah, so that was the whole point of getting that Rift Herald, was trying to get some more presence in that mid lane, because they've kind of fallen down in that dual lane. We saw that the Jace pushed the bot minion waves to get the try and get that dual lane turret, and we see the Jace rotate back around. They do manage to get the mid lane turret, however, but unfortunately for Gragas, getting picked off there by that Ziggs ult, which was a massive.
Celestial climbing over the wall. Jackie's there with the hook, just brings the Akali closer to him. I don't know if that's exactly what they wanted, and Jackie might just be the sacrificial lamb to make sure that Filet-O-Fish and Hitman also get out alive. 3 members strong on this top side of the map, as JAMCo is here. Whoa, wait. Cosmic, I think he found a solo kill on a never mind. That's huge. That was a huge shutdown bounty. I mean, this Xayah had 2 items to their name. Cosmic only had 1. I don't know how that happened in the first place, and unfortunately we're not going to get a replay, but that is massive, because now the gold lead has just swung out the door here for MohLIEVERS.
Definitely, yeah. I think that switcheroo from the mid lane to the dual lane really helped, because it's now putting Jace in a more isolated situation, being able to force that minion wave. But we do see Gragas managing to catch out Cosmic there in the bot lane, which was very handy, and I think it's something that's needed for Boba lovers here. But 3v1 onto the Akali. Can she escape? Ornn's trying everything. There is bombs being slinged. There is a God Warrior after you, and there's that bomb landing straight onto the Akali as well.
The Kobe from downtown JAMCo looking for that flash little bomb play. Oh my goodness. Good stuff, bro. And DNZO being able to bounce back in this game. That early laning phase after the surprise turnaround from Nevermind for the double and then the triple on top of it from Filet-O-Fish trying to collapse and salvage the play, that's a lot to bounce back from. But DNZO, the competitive mindset, I mean, this guy's won world championships in the past in other titles. He knows that no game is unwinnable even from an early game disaster like that. Always ready to bounce back, and that is the mentality you need to be able to compete at the highest level here in Void Series.
Definitely. But I mean, Jackie is completely blitz diff here with these hooks. I'd like to see, there needs to be some sort of like hit rate with these hooks that we should see, some hidden stat that we should be able to calculate for Jackie. How many of these? Oh, there we go. There's one for a miss, but we didn't see that before. But yeah, his hook potential on these champions like Blitz is crazy, and it's definitely serving as a great utility for taking out the Xayah and taking out the Akali, which is definitely turning the team fights in favor for Boba3 currently. Running down the mid lane with the minions as well. Can they get the second tier turret here? Yep. Oh, no.
Oh,
Denied.
not quite. Yeah,
Denied.
Ken Snowball was able to block out that last minion wave. But I imagine as soon as DNZO gets to walk up with another satchel charge, he can just pop it quite easily. As now they just rotate on over into the jungle, take control. Dragon has spawned. This is now where Boba3 are in a desperate spot where they have to force an advantageous pick, but everyone is frontlining so damn well as Cosmic's already bought time and split up members here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've seen a great push for that inhibitor. Look at all that damage that Jace and the minions have managed to do to just that inhibitor alone. It's like 11 minutes in, just over the 11-minute mark. They are pretty much damaging the inhibitor. This is probably the fastest paced game out of the series so far. And it's definitely currently looking like in the favor for MohLIEVERS, even though they're only behind 1 kill. But it is that goal difference and that dive onto the Xayah, that focus from Kha'Zix, Blitz, and Ornn. There's that double knock up onto Ken as well. He's pretty low. But I think the aim here is to try and get that minion wave back at that inhibitor to take it down, because that is going to be vital for them.
And that first strike rune making some great payoffs and dividends here, not only just for the Jace and the Ziggs, as we already saw being fruitful in our first match, but even on the Kha'Zix. I don't know, or I don't remember what the Void Spike damage used to be in the past, because it was something that I don't remember a lot in solo queue, like being evolved first. It was usually like you evolve Q, so you have the you have easier time securing objectives and then looking for the R to make more plays in solo queue, and then E for resets. But the first strike rune with the evolved Void Spikes, that did some major damage, and that's another poke tool that you have on top of the Ziggs, on top of the Jace. So even if you don't have all 3 members, you have ways to bully members off from being able to take up space in time for an objective control. And now we're seeing the results being an 8,000 gold lead here for the side of MohLIEVERS.
Yeah, I think that's what comes with the positive of having 3 first strikes on your team, is that before you even go into an engage, you see your health deplete, and you're like, all they did was land 1 hit on me, and now I'm getting first strike for some reason by 3 people. And it's just nutty, the amount of damage that can come off your health, and the amount of confidence it can suck out of like a frontliner on your team. It's like, yo, guys, we need to back off here. Just like the Gragas just getting completely taken out. Nice knock up there from the Ornn. We do see the Xayah managing to root. They are holding on to that mid-wave with their life. Boba3 really want to keep that mid-turret alive, but we're seeing the Kha'Zix solo, or trying to at least solo start the Baron Nashor here, which could potentially be a means to an end for Boba3.
Yeah, it's, once again, great setup here. Using the poke and even the engage from Ornn. Yes, it didn't necessarily result in anyone going down or burning summoner spells, but you burned the Xayah ulti. Oh, I mean, Ken's pretty tanky, but this Kha'Zix is also very strong, and that is a dead Nunu in the jungle. And now Filet-O-Fish is, oh, this is just rude. This is just rude. He's just waiting for another one, but now he has friends. And Sim is going to make a fool out of Filet-O-Fish. Yeah, trade 1 for 1. It's a kill over on both sides. Oh, this is
a kill over, but it was potentially a bait setup there. Double kill for Ziggs though. I mean, they forced 2 champions into the red side of the jungle, whilst Hitman and Jackie was running down at the Baron lane with the minions buffed already, so down goes an inhibitor in the Baron lane. Mid lane falls as well. Cosmic takes the bot lane inhibitor. The Nexus is laid bare. The only person going to stop them is Nunu.
Wait.
The shield is just not enough, and it is. Game 3 goes to MohLIEVERS after a first round loss. They take it back with a 2-1.
That was one hell of a game. Yeah, I mean, like the opening sequence where Nevermind just walks away with 4 kills to start the first few minutes of the game. I was just like, oh man. And even Celestial, I think, had a trade, a 1-for-1 on the Cosmic in the early lane that Filet was not able to reprieve of, so that, or answer back. And that just set up what seemed like Boba Lovers for a very, very strong early game. But then you know what? I want to bring Pierce in on this, because I feel like the big flip and the turning point for MohLIEVERS was the first Dragon setup, the big flip.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the flip is where it started to turn, but I do want to talk first off on that early game and how far ahead Xayah got.
Yeah.
But then I just need to take a break and talk about itemization, because the first item she bought she was up 2,000 gold, guys. Everyone else had like 3,000 gold. She had 5,000, but she bought like Shield Bow, which is like. It's like a lot of ADCs think it's a good item, but it's like it's not. It's just not. Like the itemization on it isn't like the stats and stuff you're getting isn't worth it for the gold.